Good morning. I remember the days when we used to be embarrassed to wear Buck shirts. Not anymore. So we're talking about getting into rapport with somebody, and we're talking about the different ways that people communicate. My shoulder's finally getting a little bit better. So people communicate in three ways: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. And while we're all three, and we all communicate in all three, we each have a home. Everybody has one of those modalities. That's what they're called, modalities or modes. Everybody has one of those modalities that they're most comfortable with. So people have a tendency towards one area. So kind of like they have a tendency to be right-handed or left-handed. So there's people that are visual, there's people that are auditory, and there's people that are kinesthetic. Visual people are like New Yorkers. They move quickly, they talk quickly, they move fast. They say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Let's look at this. And they say things like, look at this. Let me show you this. Did you see this? They say visual words in addition to being fast and moving quickly and moving at a speed. Auditory people come down a level, and they tend to talk like they're worried about how they sound. They have a tempo, they have a pace. They talk to you in a very regular voice, and they say things like, listen to me. I need you to hear me. They say auditory language. Kinesthetic people are much more feeling people. So they say things, first of all, they tend to be down and move very slowly. Kinesthetic people are the people that are kind of slunched down, and they tend to walk slowly, and they tend to move very slowly. They talk like this and want to talk to you. And they'll say things like, that doesn't click for me. Or if you ask a kinesthetic person a fact, did you see this? Their response will be, I feel like I did, because they're feeling people. Now, what do you think happens when a visual person runs into a kinesthetic person? So when somebody from New York who talks like this, moves like this, and goes like this, runs into somebody who's very kinesthetic, like somebody from like Mississippi, who talks like this and moves very slowly and wants things to click for you, how do you think those two people are going to interact? Not very well. Are they going to like each other? Are they going to communicate very well? Are they even going to trust each other? The answer is no. So when you first run into somebody, if you start paying attention, you can tell what they are. Are they visual, are they auditory, or are they kinesthetic? And then you can know where to go with them. And I think the best way to determine what they are is the speed at which they move, and then the language. Do they say, I need you to hear me? So what happens when people get stressed? They go home. They go to the place that they're more comfortable. So if there's a stressful situation, visual people are going to be moving, and say, look at this, take a look at this, you need to see this. And the auditory person is going to be saying, you're not listening to me. And the visual person is going to be saying, look at this. And the auditory person is stressed. When they're stressed, they can't even see. All they can do is hear. And so they're saying, stop trying to show me something. You need to listen to me. Now, what happens if these two people are married? Which happens, by the way, all the time. What are they fighting about? Are they fighting about whatever the topic is? No, they're fighting about the way that they're communicating. The one person is visual, so they're communicating visually, and the other person is auditory, so they want to communicate auditorily. If they simply were able to stop and put themselves in rapport, now they would be able to communicate in a way that each other would understand. Whereas right now, they can't even communicate because one's looking for things and the other one wants them to hear them. Doesn't work. If you've got a visual partner and you're telling them, explaining them something with words, you're wasting your time. A visual person's going to learn visually. You need to write something down and show it to them. But if you have an auditory learner and you write something down and show it to them, you're wasting your time. They'll just look at it and they'll be blank. You need to explain it to them. With a kinesthetic person, you need to do both, but you need to go slowly, and then you need to ask them, did that click for you? Did you get everything you needed out of this conversation from me? You need to say something like that. So pay attention when you're interacting with people. Where are they? Are they visual, auditory, or kinesthetic? And it's going to give you a lot better clues as to how to get rapport with them because you know where you need to be. And then how to communicate with them. Use the language. When somebody has a catchphrase or has a specific word that they use that word because, if somebody says something is amazing and to you, extraordinary and amazing mean the same thing. So you say it's extraordinary. They might say, well, okay, I was looking for amazing. Even though those two words might mean the same to you, they might not mean the same thing to them. So repeat things back and go to their place and then use the language that they're looking for. You're going to have a much better time communicating with them. Hope that makes sense. Hope everybody has a great day. Thank you very much for watching. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.